Welcome back to my channel, you guys. My name is Megan Black, for those of you who don't know me. Today I wanted to create this Valentine's Day look. I wanted to do a really simple look, a soft glam eye with a vibrant red bold lip. And I feel like this is what I was going for. I used the DESI x KATY FRIENDCATION palette by Dose of Colors on my lid. And I recently found this liquid lipstick by NARS. It's the NARS Power Matte Pigment liquid lipstick in Don't Stop. And you guys, it is by far my favorite liquid lipstick I have ever tried. I've also learned some tips on how to create a really seamless finish using a liquid lipstick, because I know in my experience, it can be a little bit more challenging. So stay tuned for those tips. And before we jump into the tutorial, make sure to hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell. And with that said, let's get started. To get started, I am going to be prepping my lips because the lips is the most important part of this look. When you wear a matte lipstick, it's really important to prep your lips beforehand. So what I've learned is that you want to first exfoliate your lips. And I'm just going to use this Garnier Skin Active Micellar Cleansing Water. I've heard that this is better to use opposed to like lip scrubs. I heard that the lip scrubs don't really do anything. So I'm just taking some on a Q-tip and just kind of scrubbing away the dead skin. I learned this trick from Katy Jane Hughes, the celebrity makeup artist. And it's really good at buffing away the dead skin. I've used lip scrubs before and I really don't like how harsh they are. It causes cracks in my lips. Now I'm going to apply some lip balm. This is the CLARINS Hydressential Lip Balm. Any lip balm will do. But you want to apply lip balm at the beginning of your makeup routine so it has time to set in. For primer, I'm going to be using the AVEENO Positively Radiant Max Glow Serum and Primer. This was also, you want to shake it because it can separate. This was also another recommendation from Katy Jane Hughes. She is by far my favorite makeup artist. Like, I'm obsessed with watching her tutorials. She has a YouTube, but she's not really active on there. She does tutorials on Instagram. And she's so good, but she really likes this. She applies this as a primer before makeup to help give a dewy look to the skin. And then to prep my under eyes, I'm using the ORGINS Eye Doctor eye cream. It's really important to use an eye cream before going in with makeup because it will really help with less creasing of the concealer and the foundation. For foundation, I'm going to be using let me shake it up. It's the Makeup Forever Ultra HD, and I'm in the shade Wide 225. Before I put on foundation, I want to put on some highlighter actually. This is the Flower Beauty highlighter in the shade Pearlescence, and just tapping it in on the high points. So I do my cheekbone, and I kind of do a C motion up to my temple. You could do some on the tip of your nose. Some people like to highlight their chin, but I don't like that. But I am going to highlight in the center of my brow. So I like applying a liquid highlighter before foundation because I feel like once I apply foundation, it will blend in better instead of just looking like streaks of highlight on my skin. So now that we have that, I'm going back in with the foundation and just doing dots on my face. Using my beauty blender, I'm just going to buff that in, or pounce that in. I always like to start out lighter on foundation and then go in if I feel like I need more. I'm going in with concealer, and this is the Laura Mercier shade 1N Flawless Fusion Concealer. I'm going to take this a little bit lower because I have been noticing when I apply foundation, I'm applying it too high up. And I learned a trick that if you apply it a little bit lower and then buff it up to your under eye. It can help with less creasing. The makeup artist I was telling you about, Katy Jane Hughes, she buffs in her concealer with the fluffy blending brush, like an eyeshadow brush, instead of a beauty blender. And I've been really liking how that turns out, so I'm going to try it with this. This is just an e.l.f. brush. She's really great at doing natural makeup, letting the skin shine through, and that's like her thing. So what this will do is it will also help with less creasing because it just doesn't apply as much product into one area with the beauty blender. And I think it just goes for a lighter, makes for a lighter coverage, which I like. This was like $1 probably. It's just called the Fluffy Eye Blender Brush. So I like that. I like that finish. I like how that looks. I don't feel like there's nearly as much creasing. So I'm just going to apply some to my eyelid to prep for eyeshadow. And I'm going to take that pretty high up into the brow bone. So I'm going to be putting eyeshadow up there and then buffing out to the side. I really like this technique. Try this at home and let me know what you guys think. To set the under eye, I'm going to be using my RIMMEL Stay Matte powder. Just picking some up, tapping off the excess. And I'm just going really light-handed to set the under eye. This will also help prevent from creasing. And I'm going to set my smile lines because I'm going to pat those out first because I have problems creasing right there. And I really like that primer, that AVEENO primer. Like I just keep looking at my skin thinking, wow, it looks super dewy and pretty. So in my last video, I showed the AVEENO Max Glow Infusion Drops, which this is like, will cause more of like a tightening effect. It's like this. And I apply this before I apply my moisturizer. And then this I apply as a primer. I already showed that before I go in with makeup. So this will give more of like a dewy finish, and this is still dewy. It's not as dewy, and it gives more of like a tightening effect in a sense. Okay, now on to the eyes. I'm going to be using the Dose of Colors DESI X KATY Friendcation palette. First of all, just look how beautiful the packaging is. It's so sparkly and so pretty. I was so excited to get my hands on this. And then look at the inside. I mean, look how pretty those colors are. I'm so excited to use this in a future tutorial. This one's called Dirty Money. And this blue, look at this blue. I just think they're so fun. This color is called Basic. I think I'm going to be using this one, Girl Bye, and Just a Kiss. And the eye look is inspired by Katy, who created this palette with DESI. She did this look a while back, trying to highlight the Just a Kiss color because it's just such a beautiful, like wet, sparkly color, but it doesn't really have a base to it, and so it just looks so beautiful on the lid. I'll show you guys when I put it on. So I'm just taking a fluffy brush. This is my Morphe M573, and I'm going in with this first color. And I'm just going to start applying this to my socket, working light-handedly. Just to help create some definition. I will link all the products below in the description box, and I will link the tutorial that Katy used this eye look in. And kind of bringing it down to the outer V. I'm not bringing it all the way down to my lash line, but I am coming down a little bit onto my lid, but not covering the entire lid. Because I really want the color Just a Kiss, that pretty sparkly color, to really be the highlight of the eye. I'm now taking a smaller blending brush. This is the Smith 230. And I'm going in with Girl Bye. Right there. Just a little bit below the color Basic, that first shade. This is just deepening up the eye and giving it more color and dimension. This is a really pretty color, especially for Valentine's Day. It's like a soft, smoky, deep burgundy maybe? I don't know. I just know it's pretty. It has like a brown to it as well. It's like a brown burgundy something. So I'm barely applying this. Like I'm doing the lightest strokes and I'm gonna bring it down. The most important thing you can do with eyeshadow is blend. Blend, 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 blend. Blend until your fingers fall off. And I'm taking it pretty close to the inside as well. I just feel like that gives more of a dramatic effect and I like that. It's easier to blend out eyeshadow when you first go in with a super light hand. I'm barely applying this to my lid. Like barely touching it, but it's still depositing the pigment. But it will be so much easier to blend out as opposed to if I was applying a lot of pressure. The key with makeup is really just to take your time and blend and layer and blend and layer and blend to get to the desired result that you want. Another trick I learned is hold closer to the end of the brush instead of up here. Because if you hold back here, it will allow you to do windshield wiper motions and circular motions a lot easier to blend, as opposed to holding up here. I mean, it's really hard to do it and it will make me have more pressure on the areas where I'm blending. I'm going in with the tighter blending brush. This is the Smith 247 and I'm just taking the same shadow and barely getting on the tip, and I'm just going to take it right in the socket just to further define the socket. See the difference? Now I'm going to take Just a Kiss, and these more metallic eyeshadows are really best applied with your finger. You could use a flat shader brush, and I'm just tapping all over my lid. Ooh, look how pretty. I love that look. I'm just taking it up until the socket line. And then I'm taking a little bit more just in the center of the eye. This is what Katy did in her tutorial and I really liked it, just to help it pop more right in the center. Pretty. For the under eye, I'm going to take this e.l.f. eyeshadow C brush and going with Basic, the first shade that we went in. That primer worked really well, almost too well for me. I think I'm going to have to go back in and powder some of my areas where I don't want shine. I'm going to go in with a pencil brush. This is the Morphe 431, and take that Girl Bye, that second shade we used. Apply this closer to the lash line. I'm going to powder some of my face because it's kind of driving me crazy. I just want to glow in the right places, you know? I don't want to look shiny all over. Okay, I'm going to finish off my complexion by bronzing my face using the Physician Formula Butter Bronzer in the shade Bronzer. I'm taking it on my jawline and down the neck. For blush, I'm using the Maybelline Fit Me in the shade Pink. For brows, I did them off camera just to save some time, but I just used my Maybelline Brow Precise Fiber Volumizer in the shade Deep Brown. I didn't fill them in with a pencil or anything, I just combed them up with that gel, and I think we're good to go. For mascara, I'm going to be using this new mascara that I got, and I totally love it. I think it's a new mascara that just came out. It's the L'Oreal Telescopic Mascara. And you guys, it is so good. So I'm going to curl my lashes. This kind of reminds me of the MAC Extended Play Mascara because it has such a tiny wand. A very thin wand, but it just, like the way that it grabs your eyelashes, can you guys see that? It makes it so long, it's really good at lengthening, and I just feel like it's so clean. Like, if you like a chunky mascara, this probably isn't for you. I would probably go with like the Lash Paradise if it's from drugstore. But this just gives such a clean lash. You could build it up probably to make it a little bit more thick and chunky, but this is definitely a great lengthening mascara, and it just lifts your lashes so well. I can totally say hands down this is like probably my favorite mascara from the drugstore. My next one would probably be the L'Oreal Lash Paradise. Can you guys see that? Look at that. I mean, hello? Like, what? And then I love that. I actually initially got this to do my lower lashes because my lower lashes are pretty long, and I don't like when the wand on some mascaras and the formula is super thick and chunky because, I don't know, I just don't like that look. So I was looking for a mascara that had a slimmer wand, and this is great for that as well when I don't want a heavier lower lash. Okay, I think we are ready for the red lip. So I really wanted this look to be about the lip. I wanted to do more of a subtle eye, subtle but like soft glam eye, and I wanted the focus to be on the lip. I love a red lip. I think it's so timeless, so classy, beautiful, elegant, but I rarely will wear a red lip because it's so messy. So I feel like if you're gonna wear a red lip, it needs to be a liquid lip that dries down and won't get everywhere. And I feel like I've tried so many liquid lipsticks and I hate them all. Like, I haven't found one that I will wear regularly because I find them to be very drying and make my lips crack and hurt. It's just not worth it. But I did find this one from NARS, Power Matte Lip Pigment, and this is in the shade Don't Stop. This lip goes on so velvety and it's very comfortable to wear, and it doesn't bother my lips like other liquid lipsticks do. But I feel like there is a trick, or I feel like there's a learning curve to applying a liquid lip. And I've had to practice this several times because one of my biggest pet peeves is when I see lipstick like go outside the lip line or just not look very clean and it's messy, especially when it's a very bright, bold color. I would rather just not wear lipstick. So I've learned a couple tricks. What I'm going to do is, at the beginning of my tutorial, I applied some lip balm. So I'm going to kind of take that off a little bit because you don't want your lip to slide around. And I'm going to comb off or brush off the lipstick, the pigment, as much as possible. Because these are so pigmented, you don't want to go in with a full brush. You could apply a lip liner before, but Katy Jane Hughes applied it afterwards, and I really liked how she did it, so I'm just going to do what she did. And you want to start in the center of your lip. It's easier to make any corrections when you start in the center of the lip and bring the color outwards, as opposed to depositing the pigment on the outer skirts of your lip and bringing it in, because the outer edge will be very difficult to clean up. And I'm going to take the doe foot and brush it because I'm going to be doing the corners now. I'm just doing little etch marks instead of doing like one big swipe. I'm just using the tip of the doe foot almost to kind of like line my lips. And if you need to go back in with more, I'm just going to pick it up from the back of my hand as opposed to going back in because that will give me too much product. So I'm just going to tell you my camera died and I had to wait an hour for it to charge. So I'm going to tell you what I finished doing. I outlined the lip in the color Mariachi by NARS, the Precision Lip Liner. But I wanted to give you guys a couple more tips for doing liquid lipstick. So you saw me just really take my time. I started in the center of the lip and I worked my way outwards. If you happen to mess up, a tip that I learned from Katy Jane Hughes again is I took the WELEDA Skin Food. It looks like this. This is just like a really thick moisturizing balm, and you deposit some of it on the back of your hand, and then I just took a flat angled brush and you wet the brush with the moisturizer, and then you take off the excess, and then you can go in and clean up any of the messes. It's like a magic eraser. So if you go outside of your lip line, just anchor your pinky on your chin, make your lips tight, go in and clean up any of the excess. This works like a charm. It works so good. One more thing I have to say is I love this liquid lipstick so much by NARS. So comfortable on my lips. I don't feel any dryness or cracking, and I feel like I could wear this all day long. I have such a hard time wearing a bold lip for that reason, because either it's super messy, like you can't really wear a bold lip without it getting all over the place. I just really like it. So this is the finished look, you guys. What do you guys think? I want to know if you guys recreate this look. Please tag me. I feel like this is such a good Valentine's Day look. It's really simple on the eyes, and a fun bold lip just makes you feel so cool. I love wearing a red lip. And as always, make sure to hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell. That way you will be notified anytime I upload new videos. Thank you so much for watching, you guys, and I'll see you next time.